What it do, style crew? It's your girl J Styles, and I'm back with another video. So in this video I have this dress. Now let's get right into it. So these are all the colors that I'll be using for this project. I know you can't really see all together, but this is what I'll be using, and I will tag the names of each yarn that I remember in the description box. I'll also be using a 5mm hook. So jumping right into this video, we're going to create a slip knot. And you guys know I love foundation chains, so I am going to chain my 3. And I'm going to work 45 foundation double crochet chains. If you're not comfortable with foundation chains, you can chain 46 for the size that I'm making. Go in the second chain from the hook, and you should have 45 stitches. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create my foundation chain. But you can go ahead and start your chain however you like, and I'll meet you back when we have a 45. So if you guys want to see the foundation chain, you're gonna wrap your yarn, insert your hook into the bottom braid, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through the first loop, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn, pull through 2. I always do foundation chains because, I mean, why not? You're gonna chain and go back down on the chain when you can just do it all in one. So I'll meet you guys back when you have 45 stitches. All right, so now we have our 45 foundation chains, or our double crochet chains, whichever way you did. So we're gonna chain 2, turn our work, and I'm a crocheter that I like to work in the, I skip the first stitch, go into the second one, and then work in the chain 2. However, I'm going to be increasing on both sides, so you know that means we're going to be putting a double crochet in the very first stitch, and then all the way down when we get to our chain 2, we're going to put 2 double crochet in our chain 2 space. So keep crocheting all the way down until we get to our chain 2 space. Coming up on the end of our last 2 stitches, this is our second to last, and I'm going to put 2 double crochet in our chain 2 space. Now the reason why I crochet like this is because I typically don't do edging for me. So when I crochet like this, it kind of just gives me an edge that's cleaner than the other way where you put a double crochet in the same stitch and put your last stitch in your second to last stitch. All right, now so chain 2, turn your work, and you're gonna repeat this until you have the length of the top that you want. I'm gonna be increasing on the end of every row until I have the top that I want. So I'll come back when I have my amount of rows. All right, so we're coming up on the end of our 3rd row. So that's the second to last stitch. This is our chain 2 stitch. And we'll be placing 2 double crochets in this stitch. We're going to chain 2, turn our work, and in this very first stitch we're going to place a double crochet because our chain 2 counts as a double crochet, so we have 2 double crochet in there. Keep increasing until we can wrap around our back. So that is the goal for me, increasing on the ends of every row, and just keep crocheting. So I'll get you guys back when we're ready to move forward. All right, guys, so here we are after 19 rows of working. Let's just double check. This is for a size medium. I am a 36D, so if that is for reference for anybody. For me, 19 is about 8. Doesn't hit 8, but it's about 8. About 8 inches. All right, guys, so we're coming up on our last increase of our 19th row. I'm going to put 2 double crochet right into this space. Now I'm going to chain 2, turn my work, and in this very first stitch, we're going to skip this one. We're not increasing anymore. We're going to do 3 rows of a normal double crochet. So we're going to insert our hook right into that stitch, double crochet, and double crochet all the way down till we get to our chain 2 at the bottom. Alright, so here we are coming up on the end. That's our second to last stitch. In this chain 2, that is our very last stitch. So now we're going to chain 2, turn our work, again putting our first double crochet into the stitch beside the chain 2 and then working all the way down. So I just want to make this point that you're going to see in this video how there's purple at the bottom where these 3 stitches are being placed right now, but I didn't like the look of the extra purple, so I took it apart and I came back to show you guys what I did with the blue. So you're going to see the purple, me sewing in with the purple and everything, but I'm going to do 2 more rows of this blue and then leave a really long tail, and that's the tail I'm going to use to sew in to the skirt. So you're going to see it in the pictures and in other videos, but in this video it's going to be the purple because I realized I didn't like it after I sewed everything together. So that is just a disclaimer, side note that I want you guys to know. All right, keep crocheting 2 more rows and then follow along with the rest of the video. So I can't get the full top in frame on camera, but this is what your top should look like. It should have a straight edge right here and this. So I left a really long tail like I said I would. So now I'm just gonna put my hook through and I'm gonna pull through my really long tail to fasten off, and I'll use this tail to sew to my skirt when the time gets there. But yes, I wanted to come back and show you guys the change that I made because you're going to see the purple in the video, and I wanted you guys to see that I went back and I made it all blue for the top. Now I'm going to start off with another slip knot. We'll be creating the skirt portion of our dress. I'm going to do a foundation chain of 95 stitches for my size. And I'll give you guys some figures in the corner of what I would suggest for other sizes. For reference, my waist is 29 inches and my hips are 39 inches. So if you fall under those categories close to, you can follow my guidelines. So yes, I'm going to keep going until I have 95 foundation chains. Here we are with 94, and on our 95th, we are going to wrap our yarn, insert, prepare like we are making another foundation chain, pull through the first one only. So you're going to have 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to go to your beginning, and you're going to find this piece that's attached to this. So pretty much your very first stitch, you're going to pull it out. You're going to insert your hook in there. You're going to grab your working yarn. You are going to pull through like a slip knot. And this is how we join. And then you're going to pull this together so that it tightens up. Wrap your yarn, pull through 2. Wrap your yarn, pull through the last 2. Insert your hook into the top, not the chain, into the top of the first stitch, make a slip stitch, and now you have joined in your round. Now we can begin our skirt. So for the next 3 rows, we're going to be using this color. I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to insert into this stitch right here. And I'm going to work my way all the way around until I get right here. I'm going to put my last stitch right in there. So double crochet all the way around, and I'll meet you guys at the end. Alright, so here we are coming up on the end of our second row. And we're going to put our last double crochet right into this stitch. And then in the top of this stitch, we're going to do a slip stitch, chain 2, turn our work. So we're going to insert right here, and then we're going to work all the way around. So I'll catch you guys when we're ready to move on to our next color. So we have now completed 4 rows of double crochet, and I have stopped right here before I've slip stitched to show you guys what we're going to do next. So now I'm going to explain to you guys how I increase the skirt. I'm using this diagram to show you guys how I increase a skirt for all sizes, so you guys just know how it works. So starting off with 95, because that is our starting stitch for the number that I did, I want 5 equal increases all the way around. And in order to do that, I have to account for the spaces that I'm going to be putting 2 double crochets in. So I'm going to subtract 5 from my starting amount. So if you have 100, you're going to subtract 5, 125, you're going to subtract 5, because that's how many increases you want around your skirt. So I get 90. Now that I have 90, I want to divide by 5 for 5 equal sections. Then I'll have the number that I need to put in between every increase. So in this case, I have 18. So in the back of this picture, you can see a dot. That is mimicking the center of my skirt. And in order to get an even increase, you're going to have to divide whatever final number you have by 2. So I'm going to go 9 stitches one way, and then when I get close to the center after working in the round, I'm going to put 9 stitches before I slip stitch. So in between that, I'm going to have 18. And I'm going to show you guys how I marked it off with my stitch markers to get exactly what I need. But this is how I increase every skirt. It's worked for me. It works for most sizes, all sizes I would say. 5 increases is a good amount. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about so that you guys can do this too. So I haven't switched my color out yet because this next row I'm going to be switching out my color. But you can see where I've placed my 9. And in between these 2 stitch markers is 18. And then 18 again. 18 again. 18 again. And then the rest is my 9 to make 18 all the way around. And that's how I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys see that? All right. So now I'm going to switch my color and show you guys how I'm switching my colors. And then I'm going to show you guys how I increase. And we will move forward from there. So I have now placed my last double crochet in the same stitch that this is coming out of. And instead of slip stitching into the first one, I'm going to insert my hook, grab my secondary color, yarn over, pull through the first, then we're going to pull through our stitch right there. And I turn my work every row, you guys know that. So now I'm going to chain 2, turn my work. I like to tuck in my tails, but you guys will probably not be able to see what I'm doing, so I'm just going to leave them out, but usually I'll tuck them in as I crochet. So now I'm going to insert my hook right here, and I'm going to crochet until my stitch marker, and in my stitch marker I'm going to put 2 double crochets for my first increase. Alright, so here we are at our first increase. We are going to put 2 double crochet in the same stitch. You can take your stitch marker out if you like, but I like to keep them in so I just know when I'm coming on my increase, and then I'll take them out at the end. So you're going to do this all the way around. When you get to your stitch marker, you're going to put 2 double crochet in the same stitch. And then the next 2 rows after this will be 2 rows of regular double crochet, no increases. And then the next row after the 2 rows, we're going to increase again on top of our previous double crochet. So I will come back and show you guys what it looks like when you're increasing on top of the previous double crochet. But I'm close to here, so I'm just going to show you guys again one more increase. Alright, so we're at our stitch marker again, and we're going to put 2 double crochet in the same stitch. So do that all the way around, and then I will see you guys when I'm ready to put my double crochets on top of these. Alright guys, so as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of purple, 1, 2, 3 rows of red. I switched my color to orange, the first orange, and now I am going to find my increase right here, and I am going to just drag my finger up, and this is where I'm going to put my double crochet. That's how I always do my increases. They don't have to be exactly in the right place, if you would say. If they're just in the vicinity, they are doing it, they are doing the job. So I'm just going to keep going around. So here's my double crochet, dragging my finger up, and then I'm going to place 2 right there. So I'm going to do this all the way around. This is my first row of increase, 2 rows, no increase, second row of increase, 2 rows of no increase. Then I'm going to do my third row of increase, 2 rows, no increase, and then my fourth row of increase, 2 rows. And then after those 2 rows, I want to decrease. I want to show you guys what the decrease looks like, but I'm just going to keep going and working the skirt. I'm going to come back and show you guys the color changes that I made and how many rows I did for each. But I don't want this video to be super long, so that's why I'm just going to crochet majority off camera and then come back and talk to you guys. So I'll see you guys then. So I have done 4 increase rows between every 2 rows, and now on my last 2 rows after my increase, I'm going to decrease. So I do the same thing, take my finger, go up. I'm going to be decreasing over these 2 stitches. So I'm going to insert my hook and do a double crochet, and then these next 2 stitches I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, wrap my yarn, pull through the first 2, wrap my yarn, insert into the next stitch, pull up, wrap through the first 2, and wrap through all 3. Just like that. So that is how I decrease. And every time I find my increase, I'm going to decrease. So the amount of increase rows, you're going to do that in decrease rows. So if I did 4 increase rows, I'm going to do 4 decrease rows between every 2 rows of stitches. Here we have our completed skirt. measures about 14.5 inches. And I did 4 rows of purple, 3 rows of red, 6 rows of this first orange, 7 rows of this second orange, 7 rows of this third orange. I did 3 rows of gold, and then I did 2 rows of this bright yellow. So this is my gradient type skirt. And now I'm going to show you guys how I attach the top. You can attach it any way you would like. I'm going to be using a mattress stitch to attach the top. So this is where I left off my tail when I attach. I'm going to flip this over and start attaching. So for this skirt, I have 81 stitches in my top and my skirt is 95. So I marked out 16. So I have 8 here. I have 8 going this way. And I've marked out 16. So now I'm going to attach the top. Like I said, we flipped it so this side is on my right side. I'm going to attach right here. And then I'm going to take this around. And then I'm going to attach this part right here. And then I'm going to attach some more just to make sure that this is secure. And then I'll come back and show you guys how I'm going to sew it. So my tail is super long, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to pull through on the camera. So I'm just going to try to explain this. So I fed my needle through, leaving a small tail. I'm going to insert my needle through the back into the first loop, wrap my yarn, and I'm going to pull this through. Now we have a secure knot. So to do the mattress stitch, I'm going to take this out so you guys can see. Now that I have my knot, so I'm going to go through the back of the first stitch, pull my thread all the way through, and then in the back of this stitch, pulling through, then through the next stitch, then through the back of this stitch. I hope you guys can see that, but yes, it's called a mattress stitch. And I'm just going to attach in this way. If you want to do a slip stitch, single crochet, if you don't want to do this, that is completely fine. I'm just going to sew around. Then I'll come and show you guys how I make my straps. Alright guys, so we're on the last part of this. We are going to make another slip knot. We're going to grab our hook, grab our piece. We're going to put our loop in the back, insert our hook through the first stitch. We're going to grab this loop, tighten it, pull up, insert into the second stitch, pull up another loop, wrap your yarn, make a single crochet, tighten your yarn a bit, and now I'm going to chain 225 for my straps. So just go ahead and make your chains. And then of course you're going to sew in your tail. I already did this side, but when I did this side, instead of going through this one first and then this one, I went in this one first and then this one, And if you guys want that for reference, just wanted to show you that. So yes, go ahead and chain your 225, and then I'll show you guys how I feed it in through my back. Now that we have finished our chains, we're going to do something that's a little bit different, but not too different. If you guys just want to crisscross your backs and make a halter top, you can go ahead and do that. But I'm going to count 9 rows down, and in my 9th row, I'm going to feed in the same row because I want my arm to go straight up like that. Then after 9, I'm going to count out 7 rows down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I've already marked it off here. I'm going to cross it, feed it through here. And then take this and feed it into my very last stitch. Like that. So then I'll go ahead and repeat the same thing on this side, and our dress will be completed. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!